Trading is one of those few things in life where you don't just need skill and knowledge, you need an insane amount of patience. And I don't mean patience as in waiting for your chart setup to appear, and I mean patience in the bigger process. Because if you miss your setup or you fuck up your trade, you're not just clicking the reset button. You can't just get like another chance at your setup that you just saw. It's not going to show back up in 5 minutes. Sometimes you're going to have to wait like a whole nother day, maybe even a whole weekend, whole month, whole year, just to get back in the game, back into the trade, and this kind of patience is something that not a lot of people talk about within the trading industry. And I feel like it's something that should be brought up more often, because I see so many people getting into this industry and thinking that it's going to be wraps after one fucking month of them learning ICT or 1 month of them back testing a strategy or something. You're going to miss trades. You're going to hesitate. You're going to fuck up. And sometimes you're not at your desk. You're not paying attention. You're looking at your phone and you miss a trade. And now you kind of just feel like you missed your whole objective for the day. Because literally, like, sometimes if I miss my setup, I'm like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? I just missed my entire thing that I was waiting for this week, or let's just say it's a Monday. All right, I missed that setup, and now I'm like, okay, what do I do now? You feel like you're missing the whole day, and you're telling yourself, like, that's it. Like, that's the trade that you needed for the day, and you just missed it. You fucked it up. But like, and now at that point, like, the clock becomes your enemy. And for example, for like newer people, it really gets to them. You can't rewind the fucking market. You can't take it back. You can't beg the market to give you the same setup again. You just kind of have to wait, And this is exactly where patience has to take over. All right. So for example, most traders, what they do in the moment is they try to force something. All right. They force trades that they don't see. They jump into a setup that literally is not there, and they chase the market, after it's already moved. Like, for example, if I took a long or I missed a long, and, for some reason I'm like, oh, fuck, I missed my trade. Or for example, I fucked that up, whatever. What I meant to say is, for example, if you're looking for longs and you missed a trade and now you're kind of stuck and you want to still see longs, you're going to try to force something. You're going to see like a random fair value gap, after the draw and liquidity has been taken already. And now you're like, okay, let's take longs. And then you completely fuck up your entry, and then you blow your account, or, lose a trade or whatever. And literally, like, 9 times out of 10, if you have those frustrations, you're just going to get more losses, like I was literally just saying. You're going to get more frustrated and stuff like that. And patience is about accepting that sometimes the market already gave you the opportunity and you just missed it. And that's fine. That's what happens every single day. It doesn't just happen to you. It happens to literally thousands of people around, fucking millions. I don't even know how many people trade in this world, but millions of people miss their setups. Like, literally, I don't know what day it was. I think it was Thursday or something like that. It was a beautiful A+ setup, and I just completely, like, I hesitated a little bit, and because last week and like 2 weeks before were just straight chop. So I was kind of expecting the next day to kind of be like that too. So I completely just disacknowledged it, and I was like, okay, this, even though it's my setup, I have a weird feeling it's not even going to play out because how choppy the last 2 weeks have been. And sure enough, I hesitated, I missed it, and I didn't take it, and ran straight to my take profit. And sometimes, and that's fine. I'm not going to fucking sit there and cry about it. You just have to accept it and say, hey, there's always another day. I'm going to come back tomorrow. Okay? The stock market's never going to close. All right, yeah, there's holidays, whatever, but the stock market's never going to actually close. There's always another day. Patience is knowing that another opportunity will come tomorrow, not in 5 minutes, not in an hour, but tomorrow. You have to be able to control yourself and tell yourself that I just have to wait. There's nothing that's going to happen. Okay, I didn't lose any money. The only thing that could go from there is, I wait another day and potentially take that same entry. Okay, you have to think about it like this. The market has been alive since, I think it's like the 1700s, even before this, the U.S. was even, established, but way before 1776 even. It's not going to disappear. There's always going to be tomorrow. And so that's some shit that people don't realize. The opportunities are going to be endless. But our mindset convinces us that it's going to be the last one. And then you start, being fearful, and out of greed and out of desperation, you start taking random shit that aren't even there, what patience kind of does for you, it helps you zoom out and see the bigger picture, just to realize you're not being judged by just one single day. You're not being judged by how bad your week has been, but what you are being judged by is how you perform under consistency and under patience, and how you are as a trader when shit does not go your way. How disciplined you are and stuff like that. Missing one trade or even fucking up a trade does not mean that you're a shitty trader. You just have to have that patience that there's always going to be another day. It's not just going to be tomorrow. Patience isn't just sitting on your hands, while the market is open. It's also about how you handle yourself when the market is closed. Because once you miss your chance, now you just got hours of silence until the next market open. Like, for example, if you miss your trade right at market open, 9:30, and now you got to wait a whole 24 hours. What happens is people get fucking depressed. They get anxious. They get desperate. They start taking random shit that is not existent. This is why patience is so important. And if you're struggling with patience, this is exactly what you do. For example, I want to take longs. I got distracted by something. I had to go to the bathroom, whatever it is. I missed my entry. I watched Take Profit get hit, and now I'm kind of stuck. This is exactly what you do. Close your computer and walk away. Go make yourself some breakfast. Go for a run. If you're pissed off about it, go for a run. Trust me. When I tell you, when I was on a terrible losing streak, when I was like suffering when trading, when just like shit was not working out my way, just go for a 3 mile, 1 mile, however many miles you could do. Just go for a run and see how your anger just disappears. It is non-existent anymore, because at that point, when you're on your run, you're genuinely not thinking about anything else besides getting to that end goal, which is finishing however many miles you're going to do. And the Bible talks about discipline and patience a lot. So, for example, like in Galatians chapter 5, verse 22, patience is listed as one of the fruits of the Spirit, showing that that's literally something that God is trying to develop in us, so it grows within you. It's like a fruit, think about like a pear tree or a peach tree or whatever it is. So here's the verse that I'm talking about. So, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, patience, peace, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. All right, sorry, I suck at reading, but it literally talks about that, like that patience and all of the things that was listed is literally evidence that God is trying to do something within your life, that your life is being guided by the Lord. Do you just sit there and start overthinking and start beating yourself up about the messed up shit that you took, or like your loss, or the trade that you missed? Or do you use this time to prepare yourself and go do some other stuff? Do you journal it? Do you reset your mind, start reading a book? Do you just go over the trade that you missed and then make sure that you don't do it again, that you don't miss the trade again? It's that simple. There's so many other things that you could do besides being on, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, there's so many other things that you could do to separate yourself from fucking up again and just fucking up and getting to your mind, getting to your head that, you missed that trade. You just have to be okay with it. There's nothing that you could do about it. You can't go back 5 seconds in time. You can't go back anymore. I started this video 10 minutes ago. It's at 9 minutes. I can't go back to the start. I can't go back and change what I said. I just have to deal with it. If I fucked something up, then I fucked something up. You just have to accept the fact that you can't change the past. Move on. Okay? You blown your account. Realize what you have been doing wrong. And then from there, buy a new account, sit down with yourself and think, what did I do wrong? Here's what I did wrong. Here's what I'm going to do. And here's how I'm going to improve. Okay, for example, I didn't stay patient and I blew my account. I missed my setup and I started taking random shit. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that I'm locked in the entire time. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not looking at any other things besides the charts. I am focusing only on the charts. I got the blinders on. I'm only looking at my screen. And then execution after that. It's that simple. Literally, Very simple. Problem, solution. Figure it out. If you can't figure it out, you're not going to make this work. You're just going to continuously fuck up and fuck up and fuck up, and you're never going to get back on your feet. You have to understand patience is required with this. It's not going to come over time. This is something that will never work over time. If you look at anyone who has created generational wealth, they did not do it overnight. They didn't do it within 2 days. They didn't do it within a month. They didn't do it within a year. It takes a very, very long time to create that kind of wealth. Same goes for trading. It's a skill that comes over time. You can understand all the basics. You can understand fair value gaps. I could teach you fair value gaps within 5 minutes. That doesn't mean that you're going to go make money tomorrow. It doesn't mean that you're going to be fucking up $10,000 tomorrow. Maybe in a year. Yeah. Not tomorrow. You have to understand that it's a building block. Every single day is just a step being built, step being built, step being built. Even if you take a loss, even if you fuck up or something, you're still taking a step up because you are moving and you are progressing forward. You can't go back with time. Time is one of those things. I saw this quote somewhere. I don't know where I saw it, but it was probably one of the best quotes I've ever heard. Time is a currency that no one knows how much they have left of. Okay? That can go so many different directions, but the way I see it is you can't go back. You can't get that money back that you spent already. Think about like a non-returnable fucking purchase or something. Are you going to cry about it? Or are you going to move on from it and make sure that you don't mess it up again? It is that simple.